Hello, hello. Welcome back to another feature film breakdown. We're looking at a small sample from a much longer Patreon video, and we're looking at the Imitation game. And luckily for me, I've chosen a day where they're doing construction next door. So if you can hear it in the background, that seems to be a concrete saw, which is going through something right next to my window. Fantastic. And they just paused. Okay, so we're looking at the Imitation game, and we have seen a little bit of this in the past on this very channel on YouTube. But this is a very specific example of how you can make a very poor choice as to how talent is facing one another, and then how talent is actually facing the camera, and how that can lead to extensive problems down the line. It doesn't happen here, but remember, we're seeing the results of some very smart choices. Every step along the way, you could make a poor decision, which would make this scene significantly worse. So although it's easy to talk about now, just think that you're in this open ballroom, you have to make all of these decisions. So every little detail that we talk about, while it might seem obvious in hindsight, if you're not thinking about those things on the day, those will add up in the background and they will catch up with you. And you will find yourself either positioned poorly for an angle or not having thought through every single shot that you need to get through. And every angle, and then what that means for the lighting, can lead to significantly more work on the day. And everything that we're trying to do is to decrease workload on the day, because that means we thought of everything. And if we think we've thought of everything, which will never be true, at least we'll have some time on set to get to work through the problems that arise, because nothing is going to go exactly as planned. Nothing's going to go to time or on schedule, and we're going to have to be able to be flexible and to be able to maneuver on set in the best way possible. And looking at these examples, hopefully that is going to allow us to be quicker at adapting and more ready to do all of those things when they need to be done. And that's exactly what we're looking at in today's example, to make sure we don't fall prey to poor blocking, really. Okay, so with all that being said, let's look at the imitation game in the example here. So to set this up, there's this table here where the ladies are, and then there's this table back here where the boys are. There's 4 guys at the start, and there's 2 girls at the start. And we're going to play a look between the 2 tables. So we pick a side of the line, which is this side of the line, and how are we going to set it up for our strength? How are we going to set up where we can position the lights in the long shots across the room? That is the hard part. If you put these girls on this side, these ladies on this side, and you try and do this scene, none of it works. It's only because they are in these exact positions that it works for the coverage and for the lighting, and what makes the lighting all possible. See how it's like this China ball setup inside of a room that sucks up all the light because it's wooden. It gets really, really flat. The only reason it's not flat here is you can feel the extra heat coming from over here, because we're in the wide now. We have to provide some sort of shape. So you can feel this is where the motivated movie lighting is coming from. Everything else is sort of ambient. This is what it would look like on the day if you were lighting this whole scene with China balls. Now we come back to the start, and let's get into the scene. We are in here. Okay, it's a little bit overheady, right? We're wide enough, but we're using bodies. We're using things to muddle up the frame to keep it like, I can't quite see them, what is going on, I'm not sure. But we definitely have a much stronger backlight, right? You can definitely feel the backlight on everybody here. And the rest is filled in from a little bit from the side, but really we're setting up for this guy's shot because we can't see his face. We're setting up for Turing's close up in this conversation. But we're shooting straight on into the gap of the group, and the gap of the group is facing the ladies because the ladies are over there. As we play it out, boom. Now, because we are playing this side of the line and the ladies are over there, what's going to happen is when we cut, we're able to use these things in the frame to block the source for the ladies. That is going to be much flatter than if you had the China ball on top. You'd have big bags underneath the eyes. It wouldn't be near as soft. It wouldn't be near as flattering. So we know we have to come from the ground. So we're going to use being on this side of the line to our advantage and block up some of the frame with the 12 by 12 that is over here lighting up these ladies. We're also going to put a grid on the 12 by 12 so it doesn't spray all over the back walls over there. Doesn't spray everywhere in the background. It's really, really contained. And we're going to keep it off of anything foregroundy this way as well. So this is a combination of, yeah, we have a backlight out of the frame this way, also hitting here. But the main source is going to be our 12 by 12 coming right in this way, hidden by, again, another light here, adding that little edge piece, and then neg to camera for the close-up. So just remember, when she turns, again, we're using our backlight there, plus our little key from the 12 by, and it's all good. We come back here, and now, because we're on this side of the line, they're closest to that light. Just imagine if they were over here, how that would change things. Now, the light that is over here would be disgusting by the time it got all the way over here. I mean, it's already not super flattering in this occasion, but you can be right next to the frame and still be shooting along here to get them in the background. Just a really, like a perfect example of positioning the camera. Because now, this is the hard shot, right? This is the hard, the bigger, wider stuff is the harder stuff to get. Here, this is, you couldn't get textbook any easier for creating beautiful looking frames, right? It's everything from the framework. Edge, key, back, more key here than ambient in the background. Means you immediately look here. Same with the hair, same with this backlight on her. Play this slightly down and play this slightly up. So your eye is immediately drawn to this side of the frame. Okay? Keep going. Now we know the singles are easy. We're also playing, even though we're not in anamorphic world, we're in anamorphic framing. So we're going to play dirty overs. Because just imagine if you wanted to keep this same distance, but didn't want her head in, you'd have to be way wider on the eye line. So the camera would have to crab right significantly, which means she ends up looking way more upstage. So here, again, perfect lighting position relative to the camera. Same here for her. And this conversation is now easy. Now the boys, what is going on here? Like, remember, go back to this one. Remember this lighting here, where we're in this wide shot. There's not a whole lot of sidey light, and it's kind of warm, right? Coming from the China ball. And you have a little bit of an edge light, but not a whole lot of modeling going on. Whereas then we cut to here. Okay, this is slightly more backy, but it's come around as well. This guy's now sat down. It's come around a little bit. And there's definitely something coming this way too, right? This is not like, oh, it's only neg coming from that direction. There's certainly level coming back at everyone to help fill them in and not make them silhouettes or something like that. But even here, we're shooting into the corner of this room to maximize, oh, we've only got, 15 extras. Let's get them passing in the background. Let's fill them in there so it's less boring. And smoking as well, like the perfect in-shot ambient haze. And we cut to the close-up now. This is the exact, they probably just moved this exact lighting setup from her shot to his shot, right? Because they're like mirror characters of each other. This is the exact same thing. Edge down here on the ears and on the back. You get that separation from the dark background. Then you just play that Rembrandt triangle on the other side and make it soft and make it a 4x frame, and you are good to go. Same here, little edge. We're laughing. It's almost too easy. His stuff, well, if the formula worked once, let's run it back again and we'll make it even better. Here he's got a lot more wrap to it, but you can still see neg, a little reflection in the background, master prime shallow depth of field. And that's it. That plays the whole scene that way. It's just look at how every single shot makes sure that it allows for the best lighting. There's no mixing it up where you have to do some drastic change to the lighting that doesn't make any sense. So that's the delicate dance between the director of photography and the director making sure they get what they need. You just have to plan in advance to tell the directors, okay, this is the angles that we can shoot from. This is the best angles that we can choose from. We can't do this, this, and this because it will not work for the lighting. Here, when they come over here, look where they stand, right? They don't come around to this side, do they? And ruin the whole thing. They come to the open side of the conversation because the open side of the conversation is where the light is coming from over here. So now we've just made our job tackling their back and forth even easier. I mean, it's the same side. We never look this way. We've chosen what way we're never going to look. All of this stuff becomes really easy to do. Same angle, same angle. Now she's sort of switched sides, right? Because she sort of moved over. Now she has the same lighting as the other girl right there, right? Even though, does that make any sense? Does she move in the wide? Sort of strange. Not really, right? She doesn't like, I thought she might have repositioned over here. So they just completely changed the light on her because she's looking in a different direction. They wanted her to look nice. Okay, we keep going. They come over, they sit down. Let's see. He sits in her spot. And that is, yeah, we're only ever lighting from that one direction. I mean, you could not get any easier. But still, looks great. And we come out. I mean, look at the difference between his single lighting. Where is it? All right, let's get a good shot of him. His single lighting here. Beautiful, sculpted, nice, controlled. Still looking great. Still looking great. Kicking the pants. And we're out to the wide shot now. And look at how much flatter it's gotten. How all of the nuance is lost because we've had to separate from the subject with the actual fixtures. And never are we going, we're never looking from her back this way to the side of the set that we've never seen. Same with his direction. We're never looking from him to the other guy. We don't want to see that way. We definitely don't want to see that way. So we're going to have to play that in either the wide or we're going to play that in the super wide. We're not going to do it just by itself. Then he comes up with a great idea. I think this continues, right? Because she goes to the bar. Oh, yes, it does. So now we change still the same angle as before. She goes up to the bar, extras leave. He works his way down. Now it's even better lit than it was before. Like it's even nicer. The softness in the frame. She's replaced his position there. And that's the biggest lighting change. And whoop. Look at this, man. Okay, so this is good. Good lighting direction. He's way closer to the lamp, so he's going to be hotter than these two. We're really setting up for this next shot, though. Shooting along the bar with our little things in the foreground here. Just making it a little bit more depth in the background here. Adding that little bit of pepper in the background. And also opening that up so you can see even further down. And we got a little edge light on him. And a little edge light here. And our little edge light here. Right? Creating that little triad of lighting. Or as we go from this shot, look at her there, kind of flat, kind of far away, the lamp, it's a little bit down, to bang. This is Hollywood. Hello, can we make this lady look as good as humanly possible? And stop it there. Keep going, keep going. And now we're on the magical side of the line again, right? Dark to camera. And close up. And now perfectly sculpted light with little practicals in the background. This is... yeah, very, very well done. And then it just gets sharper. Like whoever, the focus puller on this B camera has just nailed this shot, right? Like they are leaving the A camera for dust. Really, really shallow, really sharp. Spill on the dress. These two clowns get up and go. He's perfectly lit, and it's over. So as you can see, it looks simple from the outside, but definitely one that you have to think through, and you have to have these conversations early on. Again, you have to know this stuff early on so you can have all of the conversations, even if you want to talk about, the Vanity Fair comments that will come from the mood that you want or the certain style and what you embraced in the characters and all of those interviews that you're going to give when you're a superstar cinematographer. You have to know this stuff, even if you want to have those conversations with the director, right? Because you need to be aware of how each little choice affects the final image. Because your job is the final image. And if you don't know what those inputs are, you're going to have a very hard time determining the output beforehand, let alone on the day. So the more you study this stuff, the more you're exposed to this stuff, I think the better cinematographer you're going to be. So if you want access to the full breakdown and many more just like it with a new one each and every week, taking a look at either a feature film or a series or whatever it might be in long form, be sure to head over to the Wandering DP Patreon and become a supporter, and you'll get access to those each and every week, plus the entire back catalog so you can rip through a tremendous amount. Okay, that is going to do it for this week. Many thanks, and we will see you in the next one. Goodbye.